Hey everybody, Bill Flipper here. I wanted to make a quick video. This isn't quite on selling on Amazon, but let's say these businesses are very hard to exit. So what are we going to do with our money? And these two books are great for that. This is Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. Great book, great man. He's influenced my life in so many ways. Thinking about positively, one of my favorite interviews with him, and he has so many great ones, is with Wayne Dyer. It's a two-part. It's free on YouTube. Just do Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins. Great one. And this is the classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I want to do a quick lesson from this, and that is what is a real asset. So I have this Spawn number one. I'm a huge comic book collector. This has gone up about 50% since I bought it. So I buy around like 120, it's like 200, whatever. Let's just do the math. It's we'll call it almost double or 50% or double. I forget what it's gone up. It's gone up significantly. So I could sell this today for more than I bought with significantly more. Non-asset. And here's the reason why. And this is what Rich Dad Poor Dad lays out. Now, I have stocks that are oil stocks. I slowly put money away in an index fund. They've gone down by 10 to 20%. Here's the difference why they're an asset. They put money in my pocket through dividends. And that's the lesson. That's why a home is not an asset. This is what it lays out, but a rental property is. Because the rental property is putting money into your pocket. It's that simple. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability does not. So that's simple, or it takes out. And so that's why, even though I've had this and it doubled, until I would exit with it or sell it, even then, it's just something I got, I appreciated in value, and I sold it for a larger amount. That's why Bitcoin is not an asset. Now, it may be still a good investment because you're going to sell it for more. That's the hopes of it. I don't know. I know that's not always the case with retail investors. But even though my oil stocks have dropped, they, I believe, on a 3 monthly basis, put money into my pocket. And that's the lesson. There's so many great lessons. I really think this should be taught in elementary schools. It is a great book. If you're new, it's kind of like, what are we going to do? Is that rental properties? We're slowly going to get that. Many businesses have an opportunity, like if you're an orthodontist, you can exit the business. You can sell the orthodontist practice. You have a large client list. You can sell that. With retail and online arbitrage, that's not really possible. The other options are you could go private label, or you could have accounts that are brand direct. Those would be something that is sellable because only you have that relationship, or only so many people have that relationship. Wholesale, really, I think there are some people who've exited wholesale, and even that is like 1.5x multiples. Whereas in a private label can be like 7x multiple. So if you have $1 million private label, you can get 5 to 7 million because you have that. But it takes a lot to go in. That's not really important. I've never done private label. There's a lot of people who do it. I think for me, much more is stocks and maybe building that up to like a rental property. But you have to buy it. You have to take this money, a portion of it, and that's so well laid out in this. Is Money Master the Game is investing, and he really goes after Vanguard low-cost index funds, and that's an option. That's something I do because, when we're old or we don't have a dentist, or maybe we get lucky, we retire early, the only way to do that is to take that cash, which, remember, is being even at 2% inflation rate, it's getting destroyed over the years. So you're going to take that and put in something, and because they're diluting the dollars, it is the assets, whether that's stocks, real estate, even gold. Remember, though, gold, because it doesn't put any money in your pocket, the obvious answer is it's not an asset. It's more of a hedge against inflation, a hedge against certain world events, things like that. So that's the lesson of it. So think of it that way. Even though you have a valuable item, and really the shocking part of Rich Dad Poor Dad is he really laid out the first lesson of your home is not an asset. Now, many of them have in the past few years appreciated very much in price. And again, you can always sell for more. A great investment. Hey, if you buy something, if I pay for $100 in a few years, I sell it for 200. That's not a bad deal. but it's still not an asset. And I really recommend, if you're new to the game, even if you decide, hey, I want to do this as a side hustle, I want to continue to work my job, or maybe I'm not sure of this yet, or maybe I do 2 shipments and you go, Amazon's not for me. This is a pain in the butt. I have I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try Instacart. I'm going to do another side hustle. Maybe entrepreneurship isn't for me. That's totally fine. I always say the people who worked at Google and were the 10th employer at Google made more than I might ever make or probably ever will. They exited for $20 million. So going that route into tech with stock options, that's a great way. No matter what it is in this channel, the goal is to provide value. That's my goal here. Provide value, be the first guy in, the last guy out, or lady, and you're going to be able to build value, provide value. You're going to be able to get a higher price in the marketplace. And what do you do with that? You're going to try to find something to hedge against inflation, to find assets. And, real estate is certainly one, and stocks is another one. And maybe I'm sure there's a few other options, but you're going to have to put in something that over a long, long period of time. So when you get to retirement or in 20, 30, 40 years, you have something that slowly has kept appreciating. So that's the lesson for today. I'm going to do a lot more of these things where it's just my opinion, some of my favorite inspirational people I listen to keep that grind, keep that hustle alive. And, you got to keep that fire, because there's lots of days where you just, in this business where I kind of, I can't find anything, or I have a big setback, or maybe you have a setback in your personal life. And when we have that, that gratitude, the lesson of gratitude, that lesson of, tomorrow will always be better, and the ability to look at things in a positive way. Jocko is great at that. That's just building that up in the bank account. So when you have those bad days, you're going to have the ability to rely on that, to fall back on that. So that's it for today. Everybody, keep hustling, keep grinding. And if you have any books I could review, maybe I'm missing something, I'm going to list my favorite top people and maybe the top podcasts. And what are you doing? Searching YouTube. I really should put a link, but I'll try to find it quick. Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins. It's an amazing, I think it's about an hour long. Wayne Dyer's since passed over, but he's a great writer. He's in the same level as Tony Robbins. Great stuff, great ability, great. I really enjoy him. I really just kind of found him randomly with Tony Robbins, and I really enjoyed the podcast. I'm sure you will too. If you're on a channel like this and you're watching this video, you will love it also. Everybody, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. See ya.